Oh, hey guys! It's so nice to see everyone. My name is Cienzi Coemo, and I'm here to talk to you about the importance of a journey. Now, it's a pretty hot day today, so I always remember to drink your water, stay hydrated. Anyway, before I talk to you about my journey, it's important to talk to you about how I got there. So, I first want to talk to you about my high school education. I went to the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, and it was a very unconventional type of setting for high school. One, it was an all-boys school. And believe it or not, yes, my graduating class was 10 people, which is what you see on the screen there. And I was in class of 2016, which was actually the second graduating class from their respective school. And that school really taught me a lot of valuable lessons, some of which I will share with you today. So the first lesson was really the impact of the community. I'm not sure if you know about Harry Potter, but it kind of works similar along those lines like the movie, whereas it would structure into a house system. So there was four houses, and each house were different individuals to really create that community and really hold us accountable for brotherhood and to really keep us in check. And those were kind of like the ways I learned about what it meant for a community to really prosper. The second one was communication is key. Every day before school officially started, we had to go to the auditorium and we really had to sit and talk about our different ideas, and we'll talk about books such as Iron John, and really we had to decipher the text and be able to communicate that thought to the audience, and that really enabled me for public speaking and really being able to articulate the message you want to get across. And the third is leaving something behind for others, so really establishing a legacy, which was really because we were a second graduating class. We really had to set a foundation and legacy for others to follow and prosper as well. And once after high school, I was able to secure a full scholarship to my post-secondary education, and I went to Babson College. Now, Babson College is located in Boston, Massachusetts, right outside of it, in the New England area. And post-secondary education really allowed me to venture into new places and be able to meet new types of people, meet new ideas and backgrounds in all walks of life. And I was able to really do that through studying abroad. And I really went to study abroad because of three specific reasons. One was adventure. I really wanted to see the world. I really wanted to be able to know what is out there for me. Second one is enthusiasm. I really wanted to be able to see new places, be able to really travel the world and be able to retain lots of ideas from that. And also discovery. I really wanted to discover the world. I wanted to learn and really expound my knowledge about different history, different cultures, and really how we can all learn from one another despite where we come from in the world. So the study abroad program that I chose in the fall of 2019 was the BRIC program. So BRIC is an abbreviation that stands for Babson, Russia, India, and China. And so I was able to visit three different countries through one study abroad program. And one, it was because it was those three countries are the significant driving forces in today's global marketplace. So right now, businesses are going through international, and they're going through lots of different places. And there's something that we call supply chain. So supply chain is basically the length process of how a product comes from beginning to finish. So for example, you have a car, right? The car parts might come from China and might be assembled in India, and then it might be sold in Russia. So that's kind of like the supply chain of the different types of processes that occur for the finished product to be able to come to fruition. And also, another reason I was interested in a study abroad program was because of how academically rigorous it was. And because typically most study abroad programs, your GPA freezes. Well, so what that means is that when you study abroad in different countries, the credits might not necessarily transfer because there might be a difference in education. But because I was able to study abroad with Babson faculty and professors that were able to travel those countries with us, my grades were able to transfer, and thus it would be able to help my GPA and academic record. And also another way was that we would travel in a cohort, which I really loved about the program. So it was a cohort of about 20 Babson students that we all got to do bonding activities. We'll travel together. We were able to take courses together and really build that community, which has really taught me a lot. And also, we were able to meet government officials. We were able to go to business meetings and meet academic leaders and really to be able to navigate the business landscape in those two respective countries. Now, because the study abroad program was in the fall, I was able to really use that summer to really think about how I want to strategize and maintain my budget when I'm abroad. Because you don't want to run out of money once you're abroad, because it's just so many different factors that just comes into play. So I decided to really spread my money into 4 different main areas. One was tourism and excursions, because that will take a principally huge chunk amount of my allocation budget for my study abroad program. The next was the food, because food is really a way to really meet new people, be able to indulge in conversations and create new relationships that we're able to go further. And also essential services such as laundry, transportation, and other factors that are really necessary to have an effective way program abroad. And also souvenirs, because when you go to different countries, you really want that memorabilia, such as clothes and different artifacts that you really want to keep with you to really remember what your journey was like. So now I'm going to talk to you about some of the interesting things that I found and learned in those 2 respective countries. And I'm going to start with Russia. So the picture that you see on your left is actually me in Moscow. And Moscow is where the president lives, which is kind of like the equivalent of the White House here in America. So they have a president whose name is Vladimir Putin, and he's the president of Russia. And the important thing about Russia is that it's the largest country in the world. It borders 14 different countries. It's has 9 different time zones within that respective country, and it spreads all the way from Europe all the way to Asia. So that kind of gives you an idea of just how large the country is. Second, the currency is called the ruble. Once you go abroad, you will really see how strong the American dollar is. So 1 American US dollar is equivalent to about 70 rubles. So it's really important to, when you spend your money, to really actually know the exchange rates and know you don't want to spend more than you have, because you can get into trouble. Also, the country has a very rich history. They used to have many people don't know that Russia used to work as a monarchy, and which is also actually linked to the British royal family. So I find that very interesting. And because of that, the people are very prideful. There's lots of cathedrals, there's lots of churches, there's lots of museums. And they also have a museum called the Hermitage. And if you spend 10 seconds at each painting, you'll spend approximately 6 years if you were to look at the whole museum from beginning to end. So that kind of gives you an idea of just how prideful the people are and how much work they take pride in what they do. And also, there's 33 letters in the Russian alphabet, which is different from the 26 letters that we know here in the United States. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about India. India has the 2nd largest population in the world. I cannot stress to you how many people are there in India. The place is entirely congested, and it's really hard to really move around. So because of that, there's lots of creative ways to really get around the country. And also, it's home to the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is the Taj Mahal serves as a wonder of the world. And lots of people travel all across the world to understand the culture of it and the remnants of it. And it took 20 years to build. 3, it was colonized by Britain. So you can really get around talking the English language. Whereas in Russia, it was really hard to find people that also spoke English. The food there is generally very, very spicy. They have this term, what they call Delhi belly, to really show that everything that they eat is really spicy, which I really enjoy personally. And also the people refrain from using the word no, which is really a huge part of their culture. The people in India are very accommodating, very pleasant, very, very nice and friendly. And they really refrain from using the word no because they see that as kind of being disrespectful, to not only to themselves, but to others as well. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about China. China is a very, very strict country, and this is because it is a communist regime. So basically what that means is that the government controls every role in your lives and the people there. So there's lots of regulations in terms of how people can really operate within our respective country. Second is that it's home to the Great Wall. The Great Wall of China is also a wonder of the world and spreads across miles and miles and miles within the border of China. And it's the largest man-made structure to date. And it has the largest population in the world, which is around 1.3 billion people. And because of that, air pollution can become very fatal because there's a lot of factories and a lot of cars, and because it's already home to a very, very huge population, that means that the pollution is also significantly a lot as well. So because of that, a lot of people usually wear masks around when navigating the city streets. And also what I found there, which was very interesting to me, is that there were literally malls everywhere. Think about how like there's gas stations and convenience stores here. That's approximately the amount of malls that there is in the country. They do everything in the mall, which is very, very crazy. And it's just massive architecture, is very beautiful. And also you want to worry about transportation and how you really navigate those three countries. So I use car, air, and rail. So for cars, we usually used taxis and rentals and rideshare, which was really convenient ways to get around countries such as Russia and India and China. Also, air travel. So typically when you do air travels internationally, you want to have your passport, and make sure you also have visas, because that's the way of having permission for the government to allow you to go inside and outside of the country. And those things might usually take up time. So it's really important that before you want to travel to a country, you want to make sure that your visas and passports are not expired and also up to date. Whereas domestic travel, you don't necessarily need a passport, but you just need a form of state ID or your driver's license if you have one already, which I'm pretty sure is coming up for y'all. Also, railway. So in Russia, we went from St. Petersburg to Moscow, and we traveled through that by a high-speed rail, which is like a very fast bullet train. So we really able to, it was an overnight rail, so we were able to spend the night. It had carts and beds within a train where you can really sleep overnight, which is probably very, very comfortable. So the lessons I really learned from studying abroad is one, thinking globally, thinking how a decision that you make in this particular area, how on a world scale, how it can affect everything and impact everything else around it. Two is a perspective and value vary from one culture to the next. I found this is probably one of the most profound values that I noticed in the country. For instance, here in America, how we pride ourselves on freedom of speech and privacy, whereas in China, civilians, they don't necessarily care about those things because one, it's illegal to have to speak against the government or to have privacy because the government kind of has all data and really has a lot of control over the people there. So whereas here we care about those things, here civilians, they could really care less in China. And also the power of privilege. In this country, that we have access to certain opportunities that other people around the world might not necessarily have. So it's really important that we notice our privilege and be able to help others that might not necessarily have those privileges. Thank you once again for listening to this presentation about the importance of a journey. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me by email, which is located to you at the upper right-hand corner. It's been a joy for me to present you this presentation, and thank you so much, and hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. Remember, stay safe. Thank you.